Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It is the Scottish Sim Guy here, and here we are back on Kinlaig for episode 2 of my Let's Play series. So, last episode, obviously episode 1, had a few issues with getting the AI worker to actually use this power harrow in a straight line. After doing one run, they wanted to go up the hill in the field, so I ended up stopping it. So what I ended up doing off screen is actually I got the worker to use the plough in the EP2 and managed to finish off the field like that, and then I've just kind of went at the back here with a power harrow. So we're going to kind of get this field power harrowed, get it sorted out, and then we'll probably maybe come in and spread some lime and some fertiliser on it, and then we'll get it sown. Would hopefully be the plan. So rather than turning too sharp, I'm going to just come out a little bit here, and then there we go. So yeah, I wasn't wanting to run line by line all the way up. I'll kind of go round and work my way up the fields, especially this not having the greatest of turner circles. So yeah, plan would be whether I do it in today's episode or not, but power harrow this field, and at some point probably think it's going to need lime, stick some fertiliser on it as well at some point, and then we'll get it sown. I've not actually looked at the field to see what it's needing, but I dare say it will probably need some lime, so that might mean buying a lime spreader. So yeah, it's one of those ones I don't really want to, but I'm not sure whether, or if I just at least want to get, I've only got the 2 fields now, so it might just be that I just leave it sitting, and once I've got all the other fields done, I can get them all limed at the same time, which might be more beneficial than anything. So pick that up. Oh, not going the wrong way, I want to go down the hill for this one. But yeah, so as you can see, what I noticed when I came back into the save game, just to kind of try and get the thing sorted out for this episode, I had noticed that the writing was a little bit clearer on the FASTRAC, and the road signs were a bit clearer. Well, they are clearer now. I don't know what's going on, but I get it that when I was looking at the MB track and I was taking it back to the farm after kind of getting the field ploughed off screen, the Mercedes in the back of the MB, where basically the registration plate is in the FASTRAC, would be blurry, and then it'd go fine, then it went blurry, and then it went fine, and it was fine after that. So I don't know what's going on. It's not all the time as things blurry. I know in episode 1 that FASTRAC wasn't as stand out as it is right now. It was a little bit blurry, and road signs obviously weren't clear. So it's come or go, it's a hit or a miss, so it's really strange. If it was a mod conflict or something, it'd be all the time. I don't know what's going on. I'm seemingly not the only person. There's been people on PC and on console that have had this issue and are having this issue not only with just this map but seemingly other maps. So yeah, it's very, very strange. So hopefully it sorts itself out. But we'll get on and get power harrowing done. As I say, we'll obviously still get that field of oats across the road to do as well. So probably this episode what I'll do is I'll get this field power harrowed, and then we'll get that field of oats done, and we'll leave the straw behind, and we can get that baled. And whether we get that baled in this episode or the next episode, I'm not entirely sure, but we'll get there. It's strange how it just kind of slows itself down sometimes. It's like 9-10k it should be doing, it slowed itself all the way down to 6 for no apparent reason. But yeah, no, I'm just, this kind of setup, it is quite smart. I just like thinking I was actually like using it yesterday and just for a little bit, just getting set up for this episode, and look at the detail just in that power harrow alone. You know, it's so highly detailed. So it's looking really, really good. So no, I'm enjoying the game. I must admit, really enjoying the game. So we'll left here and turn round, go back up this last pass here, and get this last pass up, and then work our way across the field. So probably will end up just nipping it onto a time lapse just to get the rest of the field done. So I'm not boring all you guys. And I'll probably pick it up from there. Want to try and get this power harrow. There was no reason for me to power harrow. I just doing it out of a kind of realistic thing more than anything. Sometimes it's something that we used to do, was bring the power harrow in right at the back of the plough or just after it's been ploughed, and have a nice seed bed sitting for the seeder, depending on what seeder we had. Kind of farm that we worked at, if it was really wet conditions, was coming on wet or whatever, we'd walk away with a 3 metre one pass, but the had a 6 metre Badderstad that we used, and we used to just make sure that there was a good seed bed in front of it. So sometimes that would be power harrowing, or we used to actually use a press with a plough. It would just kind of break that ploughing up a little bit as it pressed in, and it made it a bit easier for the seeder to come along and burst that up. I'll do one more pass just going along, back along the way, and then I'll jump it onto a time lapse just to get the rest of the field done, or we'll just end up being one complete episode just for doing the power harrowing, because it'll take a little while at 4 metres just to work our way across the rest of the field. We're probably just about halfway maybe. So yeah, it's but like I'm kind of really, though the turning circle's not very good on this fast track, I'm enjoying using it. It's quite good. Another thing I actually noticed, I don't know if anybody else has, but when you come into your save game, so I come into save game, I'm obviously at the farm, and then when I jumped into the fast track, I was active in the fast track, but I was invisible, nobody could see me, I wasn't sitting there, and it wasn't until maybe like 30 seconds later that I appeared in the seat. And I know that was an issue when FS25 first came out, as well as the blurriness of signs and things like that. So there's maybe just a little kind of patch or update needing done just to kind of sort that out. Hopefully that will get released soon, but I kind of did have that on when I was trying to play River Bend. So yeah, when it first came out, it was kind of the American map. It was just I was getting that sometimes. You're jumping into a tractor and you just completely vanished. But yeah, other than that, guys, what I'll do is I'll stick it down here, and I'll get myself onto a time lapse, and with that we can just get ourselves sorted out. So we'll catch you on the other side, guys.
Always alone. You will always be there. Always alone. You will always be there. Always alone. You will always be there. Always alone. always alone. You will always be there. Always alone. You will always be there. Always alone. You will always be there. Always alone.
Right folks, well that is power harrowing all done, so I'm going to go and take the FASTRAC and power harrow back to the farm, and then we're going to come back along with the trailer and we're going to get that field harvested, I've decided. So better put this in two-wheel steer for the road, and yeah, we'll take us along, get rid of the power harrow, and we'll stick the burn trailer on and come back with that, and we'll get that field harvested. So I was kind of just, while I was doing that there, obviously you'll see that majority of that power harrow in there on a time lapse, and I just thought I'd actually put it to you guys. My Let's Plays in the past, what I'd kind of do is kind of don't do the whole field on a time lapse, so I'll do like maybe the start a wee bit and then do a bit at the end, so it's not the whole field. And then recently I've just kind of been watching another few YouTubers kind of doing Let's Plays, and what they do is obviously what I'm doing now and just talking away to you and doing a bit, but when they come to do a field like that, when they jump into the time lapse, they record the whole entire field. So what you do, like which is I've just done there, but then what they do is they run the time lapse on at maybe times 6 or times 8, so it's going quicker. But I've never tended to do that. Times 4 is usually about the most I've ever usually done mine, and with that though it is going, you know, faster than normal speed. It just allows me, and I can try and get some decent views of the tractor coming towards and away and what it's doing. But kind of seen a few of these guys that are doing it like on 6 or times 8. It's just kind of up a bit higher and just going backwards and forwards and working its way across the field. Just want to see what you guys think. What do you actually prefer? I might put a poll up on YouTube actually, on Discord. What would you prefer? Us kind of slowed down time lapse, but not, you know, recording everything, or do we do it as a higher rate time lapse and record everything, but not getting the kind of views the same, because it is going kind of faster. Right, we will put this power harrow. I'll stick it around here. I'm going to have to stick this on 4-wheel steer to get round here. Yeah, I'll stick the power harrow. I'll stick the power harrow in the back of this shed here. This is just kind of the workshop in here, but I'll stick this power harrow just at the back here. And get out of the way, and I'll stick the burning on. 6 volts down. But yeah, I just didn't know what kind of 2 minds, obviously, just stick. 2 minds, what kind of way to do it. Just stick, I mean, the last couple of ones that I'm not concentrating at all here because I'm trying to think about what I'm talking about. The last couple of ones, I think maybe the last one, or maybe I've done it in Saxon, the one that I've done in Saxon as well, Riverside, I can't remember, I don't think I did though. It's just basically, I think I've done episode 1 on here like that, and what I did is I done it a little bit faster and done the whole field, rather than just little sections. And see that that's 100% went body again. I'm not going to make it down there, am I? Not just did and no more. Yeah, I think the ratings went body again, because I can see it in the FASTRAC. That's not as clear. Now we've seen that earlier on, how clear that FASTRAC and JCB sign was, and then all of a sudden it's went away again. Very, very strange. But it just comes and goes, because that was really as crisp as you like in the field doing the power harrow, and even the JCB sign on the front isn't as clear. Just when I seen it on the side of the bunning, but yeah, you get bunning on the mud flap, it's as clear as you like, and then on the side of the trailer it's not. So yeah, it's kind of went body again. So yeah, I'll put it to you guys what you want to see, and for episode 3 and we'll kind of do that, whether it's kind of not everything. So I've got a crash along here, I can obviously see, and it's holding up everything. So one thing about this map is the AI cars and the buses, they're just so erratic and so fast, they don't slow down, they just pull out in front of you and they're crashing far too much. That's just a regular sight on Kinlaig, unfortunately. So yeah, whether we just do it where I'm just working away, and when I cut into, like say, doing this oats along here now, which I will do the whole field, and I'll just speed up the time lapse so that it fits in with the length of video. But usually what I do is like talk away with me kind of starting off the field, maybe cut the end rigs off of it, and then what I do is jump to a time lapse, show you a little bit of time lapse doing the start of the field, and then a little bit at the end, and miss out kind of the bit at the middle, rather than watching the whole thing. But if you just want to watch the whole thing on time lapse just a little bit faster, then I'm more than happy to do that, because at the end of the day I need to I need to do the field anyway, so it's just usually getting a little bit of footage cut out. So with that, you know, it's just try to get everything just right basically. Length of videos, how much I get to put in the videos, you know, try to see the signs all blurry, definitely, went blurry again. So yeah, it's just how much you guys get to actually see. The faster obviously a time lapse is, then the more you get to, you know, the more you'll get to see, depending if it's a whole field or vice versa. But I do like to do a time lapse, but then not have it speeded up too much. But I can play about with it. Just kind of looking at, you know, a lot of other content creators recently and just seeing some of them and the amount of stuff that they get done in an episode, which is maybe only 30-40 minutes, but a lot of time lapse, and then time lapses that, you know, a great speed basically, but they are showing the whole fields as well, and they're doing like a whole field in a minute because the time lapse is that fast. But I just didn't know if you guys would enjoy that or not, but you can let me know what you think in the comments below. I will maybe put a poll out on my Discord or YouTube asking the same thing and see what we come up with. So I'm just going to pull in here and we'll get the gate opened down here, and then we will get this field done. This would actually be a brilliant wee bit for a farm build, you know that? There's kind of with the smaller fields round about here, might be a one for the future. Because I'm kind of like working on some farm builds now, and with that, if I do find I kind of build a really good farm build, and I kind of prefer it to what I've built on this one, I will just kind of jump maybe over and just kind of, we've bought a new farm or whatever, you know, and take the series to that one. I'm going to have to mess about here just to get the verse back, but I'm put that header, I'm pretty sure it will, won't it? So see, I'll just take the header off here and put it on, because I'm going to fit through that gate with the header without a doubt. And I'll need to bring the menu up because I don't think visibly you'll be able to see if you put it onto straw swathing or not. I don't think it's got fingers that will come down to show you. So right, get the header on. Wrong button. Open up the combine. Going to jump the menu on. Right, so it's going to jump into menu, general settings, help window on just to see, enable straw swath. Oh. Yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, it does move. There we go. So stick that back over there. I'm going to come in here, going to put GPS on, we'll go for 2 or 3 times roundabout. We'll go for 3 swaths roundabout. Start her up, lower her down. Let's get going. Mate, where are you going? Like, follow the curve. You know, follow the curve. Why you felt the need to go straight there, I'll never know. AI really does, and GPU also say AI GPS really does thing with me at times where it's a nice little turn and easy, and the thing just wants to go straight forward. At times where it works really well, and times where it doesn't work well. So like that in a corner where you think it's not going to turn round, it turns round, and in corners where it should easily be able to turn round, then it doesn't. So that is really strange, I've noticed, but it's some big improvement if you try to do it all yourself, and it works really well. But I usually do the headlands myself, and then just let it work away on the up and downs, but we'll see how much we're not a heavy crop of oats anyway. It's yielding less than the OSR, but we are on the end rig right enough, so once it gets into the middle of the field it might get a bit better. We'll see how we get on, but then this will give us some straw to bale. We can get them back to the farm as well. And get the oats into the bin, and then that's my only 2 crops really, so harvest will be officially over once I've got this field done. But yeah, well, there's grass to do, make into silage bales, and then with that there's those fields to make into fields, plough them, get them sown with grass because it is only meadow oats in them. More cows to buy, etc, etc, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm just looking at that house there, and this would be a ideal little location for a farm in here. I might have to have a look at that about doing a farm build in here. Obviously I've got still to finish the one on the starting farm, I've got one going somewhere else on the map as well, so there'll be a good few farm builds come out in the future over the next couple of weeks. I would have said don't want to bring them all out at once, so I'll bring them out gradually over time in between doing the let's plays. I'll just have them sitting ready to go, and just have them lined up for YouTube just to stick one out a week or something like that, and then the rest of the time will just be let's plays. Yeah, I just think you could do something in here. You could remove all the trees and just kind of do something up in here round about that house there. There's obviously this house here as well, so yeah, you could just done something here. And obviously the fields here are a little bit smaller round about this bit. Obviously you've got the big second farm down there on the flat, so it's over the other side of the railway, so we do have a few kind of smaller fields round about here. It's ideal. We're kind of starting a bit on the smaller side. Right, into round 2, round the field, and then once I get the second end rig off, then I'll stick on a time lapse and get the field done, and I think probably by that we'll probably get good, in all honesty, of time. I think we were bang on 55 minutes with episode 1, so I'm going to try and not get as long as that, but we might not be far away with it in all honesty, because that kind of power harring took a lot longer than what I thought, but also I can speed that up with a time lapse so it doesn't seem as long as what it actually was. But I'll yeah, get oats done, get that finished, get it back and into the grain bin, and then they can get sold. Both crops can get sold at some point, give us a bit of income, buy some new cattle, or whatever I'm needing. Maybe even a new field to extend, because I think the fields that I've got back there that are sitting in meadow now, they'll need to go in grass to give me feed for the cattle, but though I've only got 20 cows, 40 sheep is all we've got now, so we'll get that built up over time as the series goes on. But yeah, and we've just got an old round baler, so we'll get the bales read up and get them on a trailer and get them back to the farm. And then for bringing in silage bales, I've actually got 2, the front and back lifter for it rather than putting them onto a trailer. I was going to bring them in 4 at a time, old school. See how long it takes us to bring the bales back to the farm and then get them stacked in the silage pit, because that's where I'm stacking them now. But maybe then eventually over time, once I've got enough cows, I'll use a silage pit and I'll put silage in there. Just get a wee silage wagon or something to lift the grass. So everything's just about expanding and getting bigger and machinery wise and doing different things, and might end up at some point, if we get big enough equipment, as trying our hand at onions, but it might be for way in the future, because you think you need some big kit for that, and now I just don't want to expand too big and get everything too big. Want to have enough horsepower just for what I need to do, rather than starting off big. I just wanted to start off smaller and work my way up with the Let's Play. Because as I said before, when I've done the Let's Plays in the past, I've just kind of started off with everything that I want. So I didn't want to do that this time. I wanted to start off. That's why I've got this little Fergie combine, because the idea is to, eventually get a bigger combine. And there's spec there for obviously bigger baler, bigger equipment as we go and build up. So we'll see how we go. So basically, this is us at the end of the second run round the end rig, guys. So what I will do is I will knock it onto a time lapse, and I'll catch you when we've basically got the field over and done with. So we'll catch you on the other side. Well, and that was a lot less oats than what I thought we were going to get. And then what I also realised at the end there was I'd put the GPS down for 3 runs round the end rig, the heat rig. And then only done 2. Yeah, so right, oats done. So we're going to stick this back in the header trolley and we'll get everything back to the farm, I think. That's what we'll do. So take the combine first, then I'll come back and I'll get the FASTRAC with the grain trailer on, and then that's everything back to the farm, and then that'll probably do it for this episode. You see what we'll do in the next is probably definitely going to be grass, maybe a bit of sown, maybe a bit of lime. We'll maybe actually sell the crops so we can buy a lime spreader and get lime on these 2 fields. And I think I've got maybe 4 grass fields, so I might turn one of them into a crop field, and these 2 will be crops as well. I also want the fields close by basically the fields close by at the farm would be the silage fields, and the ones further away. So these are the 2 furthest away fields that we have. So definitely want these to be crops, but I don't want to go spending hundreds of money and when I could be on equipment wise, where I could be buying another field and another field's going to benefit us more, but I don't know, we'll see. Could always take out loans, but I think the thing to do is, yeah, we'll get everything back to the farm. Next episode is maybe even baling that straw, and getting that straw back to the farm actually, and then might sell the grain. Might do that, so I might leave the oats in the trailer rather than dump it. I might just stick it in the shed out the way until I figure out what I'm going to do. And there's then, yeah, we'll see what we do. And also, the good thing about this map, and which one that I used to like about Law Folds, if you ever played Law Folds, which was an Aberdeenshire map that was in 2019, is at the farmers market. You could, well, it wasn't even at the farmers market, I can't remember where it was, but I don't think it was at Far, but there was 2 points of sale where you could buy dung and you could buy slurry. Well, that's at the farmers market for buying livestock on this map. So with those fields being quite close by, I necessarily don't need to put dry fertiliser on. I could get a dung spreader and just buy the dung as I needed it to spread those two. Well, that's what I could do actually. Now that I've got one ploughed and power harrowed, I'll put lime on that, and I'll seed it, and I'll put dry fertiliser on that one. The one that I've just harvested, I'll lift the straw out of that, and I'll get a dung spreader, and I'll buy some dung out the cattle market, and I'll spread that in that, and then I can get that ploughed, then I'll get that limed, and we'll do it that way for that one. Just something a little bit different, because I don't have any slurry or dung yet, because the cattle aren't even in the shed, and I've only got 20, so for all that they'll actually produce. So yeah, that could be a plan. So next episode definitely going to be bale the straw, move the straw, and then maybe do some dung, and then the next episode after that I'll maybe get that field limed. We can sell some grain, buy the lime spreader. If we can get a second hand one, it would be even better, just save us a little bit of money, because I kind of want to try and do it that I buy the stuff rather than lease it. But then we can also, if I'm needing money, can start doing contracts, I think, which would be a good thing. So do contracts, and then with that can give me money to do stuff. I've never looked at contracts yet on the map to see what they're like and things like that. Some maps have got contracts on them, but they're few and far between it, and they're usually wood transport and stuff like that. So if you've got a map that's got a lot of contracts, then it is good to start off with doing contracts, and it makes you money. I think was it one of the maps back in 22, can't remember what one it was now. I'd done a series on that, and you actually started out with the BGA, so that's how you made your money. Attenham Park was it, I think it was. It's like, that's there's a sign, all nice and blurry. But I bet if I came out the save game, go back in, it'll be nice. I don't know, it was just, I don't get it. It's really, really strange how 1 minute it's fine, 1 minute it's not. Right, so we'll go and get this in here. So I'm actually going to stick, rather than go away round there, I'm actually going to go and stick this combine in this shed back here. Now I think before I go and do that, actually the Manitou's in the way, so I'm going to go pull this Manitou out the way. Now I'll do that out, get that out the way, and then jump in there and I'll get this in the shed, and then we'll bring FASTRAC back the grain trailer. Just leave the grain in the trailer, I think, until I figure out what I'm actually going to do. Bring this header round a bit. There we go, that's better. There we go. Right, now you go and get the FASTRAC. Right, take the FASTRAC back to the farm. Now, though I do really like this FASTRAC, and I have said the turning circle is absolutely rubbish. Yeah, so yeah, with that it is a decent tractor, but it does lack horsepower. I mean, it's 150 horsepower. This trailer is a bit big for it, so it will struggle pulling up this hill here. It kind of does struggle at times with certain implements behind it. So obviously we will, as we work on, we'll get bigger tractors, but it's actually pulling up this hill a lot better than what I thought it would, because it's not a full trailer. But yeah, it does struggle with a full trailer, but we're up to full speed as it is. So yeah, it's pulling it a bit. Always a decent sized trailer for it, a big trailer, so it kind of does struggle on the hills, but I think we will take these oats back and we'll leave them in the trailer. I think we will sell it, and we'll look at buying a lime spreader to get the lime spread on that field at one point. So yeah, just lots of ideas floating about in the head, and what we'll do, what we're going to do. It's not a lot of oats off that field, and it's only 13,730 odd litres, so not a lot of oats, but I think oats do kind of tend to make you good money, one thing about them, and you can sow them in the spring as well. Though I've actually not looked at crop calendar on this map at all since it came out, because I know obviously with British maps, when they're brought out with map makers, so oxen that you can have your crops being sown. Obviously you get spring and winter crops, so with that some can get sown in the spring, some can get sown in the winter. I've actually not looked at the crop calendar at all to see what can be sown when. Now if they've got it as a standard Giants crop calendar, and crops can only be sown at one point of the year, then I will be highly disappointed. Maybe it's something I should have looked at a lot sooner, but yeah, it is. That would be good, because it's like what we do, because oats will be sown in the spring, so with that, oats would be a good crop to put in. I think you make a good bit of money off them. We obviously will still get straw off them as well, so it might be something to do, oats rather than anything else. OSR as well, you make a good bit of money off the canola. So yeah, we're just going to go and we'll actually put a chain up for turn there, out here, and we'll just get this reversed in to one of these sheds. I'm not going to make it round to these, so I mean, even though it's got a 4-wheel steer, it just at times it just still can't make it round. And it's the thing as well, you'll notice with the 4-wheel steer, that's as much like going in. What happens is once the wheels hit the drawbar, it doesn't turn, it just forces you forward. So I've noticed that a lot with it as well, so I don't know why it is, it's just the turning circle's really bad on it, but the 4000 series, we aren't like that, either the 3000 series, so I wonder how long it'll be until we get a 6000 series on the FS25. Do this in here, and I'll actually just have a wee look at the crop calendar, and then I'll call it a day at that probably. So, yeah, we'll leave that in there. Jump out here. Let's look at the crop calendar. So barley can only be sown at one point of the year. Canola only sown at one point of the year. Oats in the spring. So yeah, they've not really went for the crop calendar. Wheat only September and October, whereas you can, so wheat and barley you can sow in the spring as well. Spring barley and spring wheat, so it would have been nice if you got that at those points as well, rather than just September, October sown for them. And then so they're going to be your winter crops, and your oats are going to be your spring crops. And then if you were to do what else, if we were going to do corn, if we're going to do corn or maize, that's April, May sown. I will make it work, but it would be nice if it was kind of a bit more realistic that way with the crop calendar, but that's what it is. But I am going to call it a day at that, guys. We've got that field finished power harrowed, we've got that field harvested. That's basically all our crops harvested. I'll actually just jump up onto construction and just show you. So the idea would be we've got these fields here, so these are going to have to get made into fields. Cut the meadow grass, make that into grass or silage, and then obviously those are the three kind of smaller ones, so they'll get kept as grass. And then we've got this one over here, I'll put that into a crop of some sort. So yeah, we'll see how we go, but that is basically it for this episode, guys. So if you have enjoyed it, do give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching, as always. Do really appreciate all you guys. And if you haven't been over at my Discord, hit me up on my Discord if you're interested in supporting the channel. I do have a Ko-fi. Ko-fi members do get shout outs and mentions on my videos, so if you'd like to do that, then head on over there. But other than that, guys, thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.